Okay, it's going now. So, shall I do the introduction to start off with?
Yes.
Okay, then. So, hello everyone, all you fellow musicians and gamers out there. This is Clarinetgamer here, along with SkullCrusher.
Hello.
And today, this is a bit of an unexpected video up on my channel and this channel as well. We're going to be talking about what was covered at E3 last night, well, particularly the Sony conference. So, we've got a list of games here that we're going to be talking about, plus we're going to be talking about things we hope to see at E3, but hopefully we'll see in the future. So, we'll start off with, of course, the big reveal. Well, the first big reveal of the conference was The Last Guardian. So, would you like to start off with your thoughts on The Last Guardian, SkullCrusher?
What should I say, man? The moment that I saw that, I was actually like, was kind of mixed up, because I was also hoping for like a Jack and Daxter reveal, because they were talking about like two buddies, like two companions working with each other, two best friends. I was thinking like, well, that might be actually one of those, and then I was like, I saw the beginning of the trailer, I was like, ooh, this might be it, but then I saw some like feather fall, and was like, there was another game that was just like that. And the moment it came clear, and I saw that little boy with, I was like, could this actually be it? Could this actually be that game that was also like rumors of? And then then I just saw the environment and was like, yeah, this is it. This is The Last Guardian, without a doubt.
Yeah. So, for as far as goes for my thoughts on this, I mean, like, when they talked about, like, you know, companionship and stuff like that, I was like, well, what game could this be? A game that was rumoured, and I was like, it could be The Last Guardian. As soon as I saw that feather fall down and the boy, like, running out to the environment, I was like, yeah, this is definitely the Last Guardian. I was like, I can't wait to see what's involved with this. Well, of course, there was a gameplay demonstration within this. I thought the gameplay looked absolutely amazing. I mean, it was like the boy was like controlling the dog or commanding it to go somewhere, like following him, and like the boy was like jumping from platform to platform, I think, with the dog like following him, and platforms crumbling in each way. So I think it looked pretty good. The gameplay looked really outstanding. I thought it looked amazing. The trailer itself was very well put together. I mean, the graphics looked incredible. Like, I think they brought it out at the right time on the PlayStation 4, personally. I mean, originally it was meant to be released for PS3, as far as I'm aware anyway. It was revealed back in 2009, and they hadn't talked about it ever since. I think there were rumours of it being cancelled, but, well, there was only rumours of it being cancelled on the PS3, and that was true because it was released on the PS4 afterwards. And the environment itself looked absolutely outstanding. I mean, the environment looked pretty gorgeous. And the story interpretation, like, as far as it goes for a story interpretation, my guess is these two, like, go off on an adventure together around different parts of the world. I mean, well, of course, we don't know that much about The Last Guardian yet, but my guess is that they go off on an adventure together, like, around the world or something like that, wherever they are. I mean, that's my interpretation of the story anyway. So, overall thoughts on The Last Guardian? I mean, I think it's going to be a brilliant game, and I can't wait for it to be released next year. So, what are your overall thoughts on The Last Guardian, SkullCrusher?
For The Last Guardian, yeah, but the way I saw the gameplay and the environment, but I kind of thought that he was like from like a group of people who also live together with those guys that probably maybe with a post-apocalyptic happiness, or they got invaded, their home got invaded or something, and they got like exterminated, all of them, and then they those two like survived or something, and they actually lived in the old ruins over there, where where the house supposed to be, where their house supposed to be was and stuff, and that's how they grew up, and that they eventually stumble on something later on in the game that they recognize from before, like what actually happened to their people maybe, and that they go after the people who did that to them or whatever it was. But that's just something that I thought that might be like The Last Guardian. kinda.
Well, to be honest with you, I think your description probably fits more than mine. To be fair, I mean, like I thought mine was pretty vague. I mean, there wasn't that much detail, but yours sounds like it's pretty much on the ball there. I mean, I think you've I think you may have guessed the story correctly. I mean, I don't know, me personally, we don't know yet, but I think you may be on the right lines there with, especially like with the title meaning as well, with The Last Guardian.
Mm.
So, shall we move on to the next game? Is there anything else that you want to add on to The Last Guardian?
Not really. I mean, like I said, the environment looks amazing. It's really fitting. It almost looks like you're actually like living in the game. It's most like it feels like it's breathing or something. I don't know. It feels natural.
Yeah, I mean,
just by watching and probably by playing.
I do agree with you there. I mean, I think it was very natural. I mean, and it really it had me keeping an eye on the trailers. Like I was really like attached to it. I mean, that's how I thought of it anyway. Like, you know, you get that feeling. It's like it's a really good trailer, and you're really so attached to it, and you just watch it immensely. Like you really you can't take your eyes off it. That's what I felt when I watched it. But
yeah, it was touching.
Yeah. So I think I will move on to the next game, and if that's the case, and that is Horizon. Now, I think for Horizon, the trailer itself, I was wondering what this was, like, or what it could be in terms of story. I mean, but of course we found out what it was. Like, there were cities built all over the place, and then it turned into like a new life, new plant life and everything, and it looked really gorgeous. I mean, looking at all the plants and everything in the trailer, and there was a new group of people, like a civilization, like protecting the new life from these robots, and it's a pretty good plot if you ask me. Like taking out these robots, like trying to defend their land against the robots that are in Horizon. I think it's really good. Plus, I mean, it was made by the team that made, I think, Guerrilla Games Design. They were the ones who made Killzone, I think it wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was Killzone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they've done a really good job on this game. I mean, I can't wait for it to be released. I mean, the gameplay itself looked really, really good. I mean, like the choice of weapons and everything, and the big fight with that big robot at the end was really good. I mean, I really enjoyed that. I mean, what I enjoyed about that was the fact that you really had to find a specific spot to really take it out. I mean, that's the difficult part about that, which I think they did a really good job of showing off that.
Mm-hmm.
So, overall, I mean, Horizon, I'm really looking forward to it because of, like, well, you know, the basic story. I mean, from my point of view, is like protecting the land that you saw in the trailer, like the new life from these robots, and there may be more to the story than that will be revealed, like at some point. But that's the basic gist of what I picked up from the trailer. So, what are your thoughts, SkullCrusher, on the Horizon?
It was astonishing, man. It looked really great. The environment looks really great, especially thanks to that engine that they used. It was freaking nice. I don't know, most games these days, they really look they really look like lively, so to say. It's really, yeah, like touching almost. And I don't know, the way they implemented humans versus machines kind of thing into that game, it looks really amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that I almost see it is like the world has ended some way, and the people survived, and they lived in those cages, and all over the years they kind of forgot how to civilize like properly, like how they lived before, and they just went back to the Stone Age, so to say, but then with the 21st or 22nd century almost, Stone Age. It's kind of like After Earth or something, or 2012 movie.
Yeah, now thinking about it, it does sound like a similar situation that what could have happened if the world did end in 2012, and the game I think could demonstrate that case. I mean, it's like the city's there, but then the world ended in 2012, then a new life was built, and this is what happened afterwards in the new life.
Mm.
So I think that's a pretty good interpretation there.
Yeah, but that doesn't quite explain the robot shit.
Well, yeah, well, not that much. I mean, but we'll probably get more details at some point anyway. For Horizon.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that will come out in February 2016, or was it in November this year? Wasn't quite sure.
I couldn't exactly remember the release date, but it might be 2016. I'm not entirely sure, but is there any more
look
thought?
it up. I mean, come on. I can open the blog. I'll just look it up for us.
Let's see what it was.
It doesn't say anything about it. Just about the game.
Right, let's see if I can find the Horizon release date.
Yeah, see, it's what they said. Horizon Zero Dawn is the complete name. Is set in a lost, beautiful open world where nature has reclaimed the ruins of the forgotten civilization. It is a world where mankind is not the dominant species, and highly advanced machines sit at the top of the food chain. You play as Aloy, a young outcast from the tribal society who has learned to hunt the machines. Intent to unraveling the many mysteries that surrounded her, Aloy embarks and on a quest that will lead her to discover her own destiny.
Yeah.
So it's basically like After Earth, like the civilization got destroyed. They talk about ruins, so they never ever got back to that civilization bit, and from there on, if you watch the trailer, if you haven't, then you really should check out the trailer. Hero Zero Dawn, Horizon Zero Dawn. It's really great. The trailer kind of explains how they live and what they actually did to survive.
Yep, that's pretty much the gist of it. So, do you have any further thoughts on Horizon Zero Dawn before we move on?
Not really. How about you?
Well, I looked up the release date for it, and it says it is scheduled for a 2016 release, so it's coming out next year.
Okay, then normally they also do those things in February or March. Normally the huge releases, so I expect it around then.
Yeah, or maybe we'll find out more about it at Gamescom, which is coming out quite soon actually, probably a couple of months' time, because normally about August is when they do the Gamescom conferences. So, anyway, let's move on to the next game. Or is there anything that you wanted to say? Because I heard you were about to say something.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay then. Well, sorry. Alright, I'll move on then. Yeah. So, the third game we'll move on to is Dreams. Now, would you like to start off, SkullCrusher, with your thoughts on Dreams?
Dreams. Do I have words for it to describe it? Oh man, it's really amazing, man. It might be different for other people, but for me it looks really amazing. I mean, if you look back at it, it kind of looks similar to Little Big Planet, sort of way, but in this way it's even more expanded a Little Big Planet, if you ask me. Kind of the way they made the game sort of like compatible with each other. It feels like an infinite world this way. A Little Big Planet, I didn't have much of that feeling. I had the feeling like in Little Big Planet you have a huge playground that you can play on like and endlessly maybe, but thanks to the surroundings it didn't look that much. But with Dreams, from what I saw from the trailer that they showed, it looks like you have a little room to work in, but think about it. It's dreams. It's about in your mind. So you will have a whole lot of room for that. So you have. It may look like a tiny room, but you can expand even further and further. You can even go check on other people's dreams, so to say, and share other stuff with each other. That makes it even like a bigger environment. For me, at least. So, I mean, that's how I look at it. It looks really great. So, yeah, what do you think?
Well, Dreams, I mean, well, this is the new game, I mean, that was unveiled by Media Molecule, of course, as the creators of Little Big Planet. Well, let me just say, Dreams, it's a huge step up from Little Big Planet. I mean, it's very similar to Little Big Planet, like what you said, SkullCrusher, but I think Dreams is a huge step up. Like, I think it's the biggest step for Media Molecule, and honestly, I think they've done an absolutely fantastic job. I was blown away by what I saw there. It's like you can create literally anything you want that's on your mind. I mean, within that small space, which is absolutely brilliant. I mean, like that's already a huge positive aspect I can say about the environment of this game. Is like, well, your dreams, your mind is in the game, so that's basically what it is for the environment. I mean, depending what's on your mind, that is for whatever the dream it is. But as far as it goes for the trailer itself, I mean, it was really well demonstrated. It was really well put together. I mean, it definitely demonstrated what you could do, like, for a dream, and what you could do, like, to create that dream, and it was definitely demonstrated very well. And, well, story interpretation will be, there's really is nothing really much to say, I mean, about story interpretation. All it is creating dreams. I mean, that's why it's called Dreams for a reason, but I thought it was very well put together, and I'm looking forward to it coming out personally. But I mean, even though I don't really play Little Big Planet that much, it'd be interesting to maybe even at least try a demo out when it comes out on the PlayStation Store, because I know that demos are free to download, so I could possibly give it a try, like the trial, like the demo. I could give it a try and see how I get on, like see if I can create a mini dream within the trial and see how it goes. But honestly, I think it was very well put together. The environment was absolutely amazing, and it's all about dreams. So, sweet dreams, guys. No, that's not the end of the video yet, but yeah, I had to throw that in.
Greatly. Oh wait.
Yeah, I had to throw that in there. But those are my thoughts on dreams. I mean, is there anything that you like to add, SkullCrusher?
Not really, no. It's basically all summed up.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've pretty much given all my thoughts on it as well. I mean, but in fact, I think we should call each other by our real names, because I know we did that in the fail run that we recorded with Ryan. So we should do that. So I'll just call you Stefan instead of the YouTube names. Yeah.
Yeah, you Kieran. Yes, we already know. It's already known.
We know who we are. We're not strangers.
No, that's right.
So anyway, moving on to the next topic, that was at E3, or Sony's conference, should I say, is the Destiny expansion pack. Now, I'll just be honest, guys, I mean, and you may be very surprised for me to say this, I haven't really played Destiny. I haven't played it at all, actually. I mean, and you may be surprised to think, okay, Clarinet, why, or Kieran, why have you not played Destiny? It's such a cool and awesome game. I understand that. I think it's an absolutely brilliant game. I mean, looking at it anyway, it looks brilliant, but it's just I've not really had the time to play it, to be honest, or even like to buy it, but I might get it one day, you never know. But the expansion pack for it looks pretty good. Like, the gameplay looked very good for it. The trailer was well put together as well. The environment, to me, it looked like, in fact, I'm going to actually look up, what was the actual expansion pack name? Just want to take a look at this.
The Taken King.
The Taken King. I'll need to see. In fact, actually, let me just take a look at exactly what it was about again, because when I did watch this, and I was very tired on watching this because it was late at night, so I may not have picked up on quite a few details here when I watched it. So, E3 trailer broken down. Let's see what it says here. Showed a lot of new gear, subclasses, weapons, and locations that will ship with the Taken King. Okay, it's just a video. Okay, so it's a trailer breakdown. It's not really text or anything. So it's basically just something like it's new subclasses. That's basically what it is. It's in the Taken King. I mean, from my point of view, I mean that's what my interpretation of the story is for that one. Is new subclasses added to the actual game, because I mean Destiny's a huge game from what I know of. So I think, I mean, those are my thoughts on this expansion pack. I mean, Stefan, do you have any thoughts on the expansion pack?
Well, to fill you in on Destiny the Taken King, it's basically, it picks up after Destiny. What they said in the trailer, it's where you killed the leader in Destiny, the evil one, I forgot his name, but that was a son of someone, of course, and in the Destiny the Taken King, his father wants to take revenge on you because you killed his son. And that's what's actually happening in Destiny the Taken King. It's basically a father taking revenge for his killed son, and you are trying to once again save the galaxy probably from this evil shit. And and bring peace to everything. That's basically for me what the trailer was. That's basically for me.
I could props to you, Stefan. I mean, you described that more accurately than I did, because I mean, I never played Destiny, so I couldn't describe it accurately.
No, but they actually explained a bit in the trailer what happened.
Oh, I know. I mean, it was definitely better than my explanation of it anyway. But do you have anything else to add to it, or shall we move on?
Well, the environment looks great, and the gameplay it's freaking amazing.
Oh yeah, I agree with you there.
It looks, oh my god, it looks so amazing.
Yes. Yep, definitely.
Have you anything to say about that?
I mean, nothing really much else left to say about it, to be honest. I mean, apart from the fact, I mean, I could just go through like the story interpretation has already been covered. The environment, that's pretty impressive. I mean, the environment's pretty impressive. The trailer's well put together. I mean, it's all the trailers actually were really well put together, but this one was really good. The gameplay is very good. I mean, it showed off like a really good demonstration of the new subclass weapons that are going to be used in this expansion pack for the Taken King, and yeah, I mean, that's all I really got to say about it. I mean, it's pretty good. So, moving on to the next game then. So it's the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, this one I was not expecting at all, actually. Like, as soon as I saw the beginning of the trailer, I thought, wait, what is this? Is this a new game? At first, my initial thought was that it was Deus Ex. That's what I thought it was, originally. But when I heard the music at the end, with the beginning of the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack, you've heard the soundtrack, Stefan, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Especially with the long note at the end, it's got do those first three notes, or in the track, like the beginning of Final Fantasy VII, like the music that plays in the beginning.
I wasn't that accurate on it, but I think I remember, yeah.
But yeah, as soon as that kicked in, I was like, yeah, that's Final Fantasy VII, and I saw Cloud Strife, like the back of him, like his hair and like the long sword and everything. I was like, yeah, this is a remake of Final Fantasy VII, and honestly, I was so surprised. I was totally blown away by it. I mean, I was like, holy crap, I was not expecting that. That's what I was like. And it's a pretty good announcement, if you ask me. I mean, to have that at the Sony conference was a absolutely phenomenal treat. I mean, in my opinion. But story interpretation, well, there's really no need to explain that, because I mean, if you've all played Final Fantasy VII before, you'll know what the story is. So there's really no need to explain that. The environment, it looks pretty much, definitely a lot more detailed, like in this remake, compared to obviously the PS1 version, but it's really not fair to compare the PS4 against the PS1, is it?
Well, still PlayStation.
Well, it's still PlayStation, but I mean, PS4 technically has evolved a lot from the PS1 days, but the environment is, phenomenal in this remake. The trailer, very well put together. And like, it had me fooled there, because I honestly thought it was a completely new game. I mean, I thought, wait, there's a special tree, and I thought, wait, is this a new game coming out? And I was like, no, it's Final Fantasy VII. I was like, wow, that caught me by surprise. But there wasn't really any gameplay shown in the trailer, but I'm assuming there was like cutscenes and stuff from the game. So the cutscenes were very well put together. The graphics were amazing in this remake, and I look forward to seeing more of it being shown off at E3. So that's pretty much my thoughts on the Final Fantasy VII remake. I'm looking forward to it, actually. So what are your thoughts, Stefan, on the Final Fantasy VII remake?
I was stunned that it was actually announced. Well, let me put it this way. What I watched before was announced the World of Final Fantasy. That was announced before Final Fantasy VII, so when I saw that, I already knew that after this officially had to come Final Fantasy VII. There was no doubt. If they would have done it the other way around, I would have been freaking surprised.
Yeah, that was my thoughts on that as well. I mean, the world of Final Fantasy. I mean, we'll touch upon that briefly. It's pretty. I don't know how to describe it, actually. The world of Final Fantasy is like it's more cartoonesque. That I mean, I'm not sure if you agree with me there, Stefan, when I say that.
Well, it kinda is. It looks like a little bit of. Do you know Animal Crossword or what was the game again?
Animal Crossing or something like that.
I think Animal Crossing.
For Nintendo, yeah.
They kinda look like that.
Yeah, they kind of look like that. Even though I've not really played Animal Crossing myself, I mean, it looks pretty similar. I mean, I've seen screenshots of Animal Crossing before, but it looks pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've really got nothing else much left to say about the Final Fantasy VII remake. I mean, what about you, Stefan? What do you think?
Do we actually have to say anything about this? I mean, come on, people. We already know how Final Fantasy is. Come on.
Yeah.
We don't have to say it. Come on. We already know.
Yeah.
And
if you don't know, then go out and buy the game and come back to us later.
Yep.
Yep.
And then you'll know.
Yep. So another surprise coming up here was Shenmue 3. Now, would you like to start your thoughts on this, Stefan? Shenmue 3.
That one actually caught me by surprise. Shenmue 3. Because Shenmue 3, let me put this way, Shenmue 2, I can't speak, was last released in 2001. I mean, that's like 14 years ago. And now it's announced for 2016, so like 15 years. There hasn't been a Shenmue out at all. And now all of a sudden at E3, Shenmue 3 announced. Freaking epic. I thought it was especially excluded for PlayStation 4, with actual gameplay and trailer footage for and from PlayStation 4. It was amazing to see it. It was a hype. It was actually worth the whole year waiting. Well, not whole year, but whole years waiting for that, man. I was amazed when I saw that. I was like, it couldn't get any better. I mean, come on. And then, of course, Final Fantasy VII came along and all that other stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm stunned.
Yeah.
Sony, you done it.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say, man. Holy shit.
Yep. But for me, Shenmue, that's how you say, yeah, Shenmue 3. You see, the thing is, I've never really played the games before me. I've heard of them, but I've never really played them myself. But I am happy to hear about the success that they had on it was done via Kickstarter. Now, if you're not familiar with that, basically, there's another game or to go a bit off topic here, there's another game on Kickstarter that's been funded heavily. It's Ukulele. It's a platformer game that's been funded via Kickstarter, and the Shenmue 3 game was done through Kickstarter as well. So I'm very happy to see that a lot of people really wanted to see that third game, and they really contributed a lot towards it. So if it wasn't for those contributions, it probably wouldn't have even happened. So I'm happy to see that's been successful in producing the third game. But onto the actual game itself, like when seeing the trailer, the graphics, oh, they were outstanding in the trailer. They were absolutely gorgeous. And as far as it goes for the story interpretation, well, of course we don't know that much yet. It was just a small preview of what it was. I mean, it really wasn't anything that much shown. I mean, if I remember correctly, but the graphics, I will say this much, they were brilliant. I mean, the environment looks pretty good as well. I mean, especially the grassy environment, the water, the sunny environment looks amazing. I mean, what they put together there so far looks very, very promising, and I look forward to seeing more for it. So that's pretty much my thoughts on the Shenmue 3. So is there anything that you'd like to add to that, Stefan?
I don't know, Kieran.
No?
Nah, I've already done my run. I actually explained how I felt about it, and you actually explained the gameplay that I was gonna say pretty well as well. Also,
okay.
So yeah,
Yep.
put the words out of my mouth once again.
Yep. So we're taking the words out of each other's mouths. I can just turning into our own.
Yep.
But yeah. Moving on to the next topic at hand is Project Morpheus. Now, would you like to start with this, Stefan? Project Morpheus?
You do this time.
Okay then. So, Project Morpheus. We were shown Project Morpheus once again at this year's E3 conference, or Sony conference. I need to be more specific when I say that, but whatever. We were shown some previews of potential games that could be coming to the Project Morpheus, and it actually does look pretty good when looking at it. Especially the one that caught my attention the most is the one where you're underwater and the shark's biting the cage. And that was pretty cool on that, and the one where you're playing football as well on the Project Morpheus, that was also pretty cool. I mean, I can't wait for that to come out. Actually, I mean, even though for me personally, it's kind of actually no, it isn't kind of like Kinect actually for Xbox. No, it's actually taken a whole new level. Of course, it's virtual reality, but I probably won't get it just yet when it comes out. I may wait a little bit longer and see what people think of it at first. I mean, but it looks very good, and I'm not going to lie. I mean, I think Sony have really, really focused on evolving in the future, and they've done a fantastic job with that. I mean, the environments of the games that they showed for Project Morpheus is very good, and basically they say it's going to be more of a more social experience, like with Project Morpheus. I believe that's what they said in the conference. So I think it's going to be pretty good when it comes out. I mean, I think it's going to be quite promising. So I mean, that's my thoughts on Project Morpheus at the moment until we get further information. So Stefan, what are your thoughts on Project Morpheus?
I think it looks pretty good. I mean, if you look back, the first actual Morpheus thing that they actually wanted to try was actually Atari all the way back in 1980. Can I say 7? Which they also tried doing that, but it failed enormously. But it wasn't ready at that time. That virtual reality shit. That wasn't ready at the time, but now, if you look back on it, if you see how much we evolved in making stuff, and eventually you see the Morpheus now, which you literally play virtually inside the game. You're just not looking at the screen anymore. You're actually in the game this time. You're actually experiencing how your player actually goes around the environment. I mean, of course, you know that if you do first-person shooters, you also play as the person, but that's also from a distance. You actually still look at the TV, but with this thing, you are actually in the game. I mean, how more of a gamer can you be than that? Honestly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you had that right there. You had that nail there on the head. It's very good. So I don't have anything else to say about Project Morpheus. I mean, again, guys, I mean, for what we're talking about here, please feel free to state your thoughts on each of the things that Sony showed off in their conference down below, because I mean, it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts on what was showing off. So, do you have anything else to add, Stefan, or shall we move on?
No, know, instead of, the release date for the thing of how much it cost, then yeah, we can move on.
Okay then. Well, so I think the next game we'll move on to is Uncharted 4. Now, let me just get this out of the way right now. The first take of what they did here was pretty funny, if you ask me. Like, when they showed off, what was it, when they got outside, and...
you mean by the demo, yeah. You
Yeah.
mean that they started with the whole cutscene inside, they finally saw at the pier that the lighthouse was attacked?
Yeah, I think instead of, like, the official title of it is The Lost Thieves, isn't it? I think that's what it's called, isn't it? Uncharted 4. Wait, I just want to quickly take a look for this. Uncharted 4. Thieves End. Oh, okay, yeah. I've got a really good joke for this. Instead of a Thieves End for that take, we should say a Controller's End. Because there was no controller there. The controller was ending it. There was no controller. It was at the end of its life. And they had to get a new one.
Oh yeah, that was so awesome. To see it was that this what literally happened. You saw the cutscene was done. They were in the group of people at the market on top of the place just where they walked outside, and you saw the little cutscene where his father just walked a little bit further, and before he walks off the stairs, the cutscene ended, and you could walk after him. But it could never happen because the controller died. You were looking at the screen like 2-3 minutes, where Drake was just standing there, just doing nothing.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, was there something wrong? Something crashed or whatever? What happened? But it was just the controller that died.
Well, it just goes to show you anything can happen at E3. Absolutely anything. I mean, not just surprising announcements, but surprising technical problems as well. But talking about, like, now actually getting on to the serious part about the second take of the technical demo. Well, looking at the story interpretation of this trailer, it looks like to me, like, I mean, of course, like, Nate and Sully were being chased, like, by somebody, like, firing a machine gun, like, in the truck, obviously, and it's like they're trying to get to Sam. I think Sam's being chased down by enemies, and they're trying to get to him. They're trying to rescue him. That's what I interpreted there from the trailer. I mean, it was pretty easy to pick that up, and the gameplay itself looks brilliant. I mean, like, it's like you pick up ammo like in real time, and like the grenades were pretty outstanding as well, and the vehicles as well, like when you drive the vehicle through the different markets and everything like that, and onto the roads, it's pretty great if you ask me. Especially the last bit of the trailer, like when Drake grabbed onto like the truck, like using the what you call it? I think it's the
grappling hook.
Grappling hook, yeah, that's the one. Thanks for that. But the grappling hook, and they grabbed onto like the moving vehicle, and that's pretty cool there. I mean, I never expected that to happen at the end. I mean, it was pretty cool. I mean, the trailer was really well put together as well, especially the opening as well. I mean, that gave me some chills, like hearing the music within the beginning of the trailer. So, for Uncharted 4, I'm really looking forward to it coming out. I mean, I've played the other Uncharted games before, and I'm looking forward personally to Uncharted 4 coming out next year. I mean, that's my thoughts on Uncharted 4. So, what are your thoughts, Stefan, on Uncharted 4?
It looks pretty amazing. I mean, it changed it pretty quickly from a peaceful moment with his father and son moment to stuff blowing the hell up and chases real quick and shooting people all of a sudden. That changes really quickly in the environment, so that you see that everything can happen unexpectedly. So you kind of know, but you kind of don't know when something is gonna happen. That's what I liked about that Uncharted gameplay. But to be honest, also the environment, like I said by all the others, it looks so real. This one a little bit more like less real, but still it looks really, really great. And especially it was straight captured for the PS4, that footage, the gameplay footage at least.
Yeah.
And I must say, for a gameplay footage like just the trailer bit, that looks pretty darn amazing.
Oh yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, like the thing is, like as far as goes to the graphics itself, like I mean, like the environment that they have. I mean, like just to pick up on that, like the facial capture that they have for the characters is absolutely outstanding. Honestly, it's like I'm watching like a movie. It's like I'm playing a movie. It's not like I'm actually playing a game. From my point of view, I mean that's what I'm looking forward to about that.
Maybe you will have that feeling, buddy. Maybe you will.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well when you get it.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I don't think there's anything much else left to say about Uncharted 4. I mean, from my point of view, I mean, is there anything that you like to add on, Stefan, at all?
Not at all.
No?
Pretty much all covered. No, I'm thinking of some bits. No.
Alright then, so we'll move on then to Black Ops 3. Now, would you like to start with your thoughts on that, Stefan? Black Ops 3?
Mixed feelings. Let me put it this way. It's a great game, but it doesn't feel to the Call of Duty series. It feels separately, to be honest. I mean, I kinda accepted Black Ops 2 to the Call of Duty series, since it's a bit more to the future. I kinda accept that, but this time jump from Black Ops 2 to Black Ops 3, it's I don't know, man. It's for me, it feels way too huge. It feels like I'm going through a whole new not environment, more like a whole new dimension of Call of Duty. It's like starting like Black Ops 3 is new Call of Duty 1, so to say. That is kind of a disappointment feeling that I got with that.
So, I mean, for me, like, Black Ops 3, like, when I first saw this, I was like, okay, it looks pretty impressive, because, like, you know, it's futuristic and stuff like that, but I thought to myself, I don't know, it's just, for me personally, like, just talking about the Call of Duty series in general, I'm not really a big fan of it, per se, because I used to be a fan of it back all those years ago, but it's just, now I'm just getting really tired of it, personally. I mean, like, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I still think, I mean, like, a lot of people see it as a good game, and I can definitely see why, because it's still appreciated by so many people. I mean, especially, like, the multiplayer and everything, but it's just, for me personally, I just can't really get into the games anymore. It looks impressive, don't get me wrong. I mean, especially at the multiplayer looked really fantastic. But it's just, from my point of view personally, like, in terms of, there's one era that I'd like to see Call of Duty go back to, and that is going back to the past. And especially, like, going back to the World War II era, because I remember, like, Call of Duty 3, I mean, I know that's a bit of an old title when I mentioned that, but I remember that was quite a good title there, because you had the different campaigns there for, like, the different countries you play as, and I quite enjoyed that, personally, when I saw it. And it's just for Black Ops 3, I mean, I can understand why people might like the futuristic aspect of Call of Duty, but it's just, for me personally, I prefer to go back to the past, like, for example, like, maybe World War II or something like that, or heck, maybe even back to World War I, or even in between those times. Like, just to maybe, like, relive his former roots again, like, you know, I don't know, I mean, it's up to the Activision, obviously, on what they do, but that's just, from my point of view, that's what they do. But regardless, going to the gameplay, it looks pretty good. I mean, like I said, the multiplayer looks fantastic. We didn't really see any zombies. I mean, from what I remember, I don't think I saw any zombie gameplay in the trailer. But the trailer itself was well put together. I mean, I thought it was really well done. The graphics looked really impressive. The environment, again, futuristic environment, looks pretty good. And the story interpretation, I didn't really play that much Black Ops, really, to be honest with you, so I can't really say anything that much about the story interpretation of it. So those are really my thoughts on Black Ops 3 and Call of Duty in general. I mean, what are your thoughts, or would you like to pick up on any thoughts, Stefan? Anything you'd like to add?
Well, if you look back on the trailer, you see you have a 4 co-op campaign gameplay shown at the E3. That one that I really liked, that you can play with up to 4 players freaking campaign missions, like through the whole campaign, story based. So yeah, that was really cool to see, but some things in that in the gameplay, it looks really cool, but some things just don't feel natural, to be honest. I know, I understand, it's a whole new it's in the future, it's whole new things and all of that, I understand. But there are new things in there that doesn't feel connected to the whole Call of Duty series. I mean, I know you want to do a little futuristic bit, but keep in mind it is still a Call of Duty game, officially. I mean, it still has Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I mean, the title is still Call of Duty, so it kinda is a Call of Duty, but also it kinda doesn't, like I said before. But to be honest, I really like the looks of the game. The environment is great. The gameplay, it looks amazing. The 4-player co-op, it's freaking darn amazing. Multiplayer looks also freaking amazing. The weapons, awesome. New ways of perks using, it's freaking awesome. Also the teleportation, that was kinda cool to see that. But yeah, it's not a game that I'm gonna, well, I want to be playing, like actually want to pay for it to play it. Maybe just try it out 1 or 2 times, but maybe watch it, but see some people play it, but personally not playing it myself. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much, I think I agree with everything you say there about like the Call of Duty series. I mean, from my point of view, I mean, and Black Ops 3 in general as well. I mean, like the gameplay's amazing and all that. But like, well, again, you took the words right out of my mouth there. So I don't have anything much else left to add on to Black Ops 3. I mean, so shall I just move on to the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Right, this next one, Star Wars Battlefront. My God, this game, I can't wait for it to come out. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, but EA, they ruined Battlefield and all that. I'm like, look, I don't care. It's Star Wars Battlefront. I have been waiting for years for another game to come out. And honestly, the gameplay, oh my God, it blew me away. Like, the environment is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I could not have asked for anything better. I mean, I think the gameplay, there's 2 different gameplays we saw, like one at EA, but the one I want to focus on in particular is Sony's one. But like we saw, like I think it was a Tatooine it was set on in this battle, and like the sandy environments were very well done. It was spot on. Even though we're just gonna have the Galactic Civil War again, like the Rebels versus the Empire, I don't really mind that. I mean, it would have been nice to see the Clone Wars added, like with the Republic and the droids being added to it. But to be honest, I think it's still pretty cool that they've got that. Plus, a lot of people were saying about how like the space battles are removed from the Battlefront. Like, I remember Battlefront 2 had the space battles, but to be honest, I like the space battles, but to be honest, I think they made up for it because they've got the vehicles, like they've got these ships on the planets. And that's the thing, like, I'm looking forward to using them on the planets, because you never used them in Battlefront 2 on the planets. And that's the one thing that I'm looking forward to seeing there from EA. And what else can I say about it, really? I mean, it's amazing. Like the environment, like I said, is really well done. The story interpretation, there'll probably be a main campaign for it, I'm pretty sure. And the trailer itself, I mean, even just touching on the one that was shown at EA was outstanding. I mean, especially like when Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker appeared in the trailer, it was just amazing. Like, it's great for them to have the heroes come back, and like you can play as the heroes and villains of either the Rebels or the Empire. Is just amazing. So I would say, like, I can't wait for this game to come out in November. I mean, it's definitely one of the games I'm going to ask for this Christmas. So those are my thoughts on the Star Wars Battlefront. I mean, what are your thoughts on this game, Stefan?
First of all, could you stop taking the words off my mouth? Oh my God, man! No, but really, the gameplay looks really amazing. I must say, it's well done. It's pretty precise. It's a natural movement. That's I can say about it. But mostly what caught my eye was the environment. I swear to God, I didn't, if I didn't like blink all of a sudden, I didn't even notice I was looking at a gameplay footage. I thought I was actually looking at a freaking movie of Star Wars Battlefront. That's how real it really looked. Battlefront, the Star Wars Battlefront looked freaking real. It looks freaking real. It is, and I stay with it. It's so real. I can't. If someone told me that, if I don't know how to say it. If someone came to me with this and said, "Look at this," and he asked me, "What do you think this is?" I said, I swear, I said, "Okay, nice movie of Star Wars Battlefront," and he would say it's a gameplay footage. I would say he lied. I swear. I swear you. I would say to him, you lied about that. No, that can never be a gameplay footage. That's how real it looks to me. I swear that. Battlefront, I swear to you, Star Wars Battlefront, I applaud you.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you there. Yep. So I think we've pretty much given our full thoughts on Star Wars Battlefront. I think it's time to move on to the next game.
Mm-hmm.
So briefly, just to touch on this, because I know we are all very, very well aware that this game is coming out next week, and that is Batman Arkham Knight. So we'll just briefly touch on this. I mean, there's not really anything much else left to say about it. I mean, I'm looking forward to this game personally, but would you like to give your thoughts on this, Stefan?
Well, this is what you expect from a Batman game. The Joker still lives somehow. The fuck? He still lives. The fuck? But yeah, I must say the twist that they put in the game now, it's looking really, really great. I'm looking actually forward how the story is gonna progress. I mean, from what I could tell from the trailer, I was a little bit confused how it actually was going, but as soon as I looked back again, I kind of filled in the pieces, and I thought like, okay, then that and that is how it's gonna happen, and then that way is how they probably interpreted it to go. But yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you see, to be honest, I've seen all the trailers leading up to this point. I mean, I'm looking forward to this game personally. It's going to be the darkest game in the Arkham series because, of course, Joker's obviously got. Oh yeah, we should have said this actually. A spoiler alert: if you've not seen this video beforehand, if you've not played Arkham City beforehand, turn away from this video, play Arkham City, and then come back to us when you're ready. But yeah, when I watched the trailer for this last night, do you know what? I had this sudden strange feeling. This is going to be quite funny when I say this. When the Joker was in that coffin or the casket, do you know what I actually thought? I thought he was going to wake up for a second. That's what I thought. I had this strange feeling that he was going to wake up in the coffin. I was like, why have I got this strange feeling he's going to do that? But I don't know. I had that strange feeling.
Because he's the Joker.
Yep, it's the Joker. That's why I had that feeling. But but regardless, I mean, it was still pretty cool seeing that opening cutscene there, and then the added-on bonus. I mean, honestly, that I think it was the one where you play as a policeman and you're talking. I think it's a Scarecrow. I think it might be a DLC, a Scarecrow DLC. I think that's what they announced at the end. Oh, that was really creepy. I'm not joking. That was pretty disturbing. I mean, Scarecrow is always pretty a pretty creepy villain in the Batman series, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And
the funniest one is the Penguin.
Oh, yeah, the Penguin, yeah.
He's so goddamn stupid.
But like you said, Stefan, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how the story unfolds. I mean, especially since the Joker's gone, the crime rate's falling down, and all the villains obviously coming back to obviously get vengeance on Batman or something like that for what had happened. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the events unfold. I mean, because apparently this is supposed to be well, according to the trailers, the death of Batman. I mean, I'm not sure in what way, but we'll find out obviously when we play the game, when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's anything much else left to say, really. I mean, the environment looks fantastic. The story, well, we pretty much know what the story is by now. The trailer, well, maybe not the full story, but like the trailer looks fantastic. The trailers look fantastic leading up to this point. Gameplay looks fantastic as well. Like it is like even better than probably the previous Arkham games that I played. Looks very, very good. So that's pretty much my thoughts on Arkham Knight. I mean, is there anything else you'd like to add, Stefan, to Arkham Knight?
No, not really, buddy.
Alright then, so let's move on. So the second last thing on our list is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Now this may be quite a quick one to touch upon. I mean, for me, like, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, in general, like, I don't know, me, ever since they've been releasing Assassin's Creed games, like, yearly, I mean, it's been kind of slacking a bit, in my opinion, because, like, well, Syndicate looks pretty good, don't get me wrong, but it's just, I'm not really that excited about it, and I think the reason for that is just, I don't know, it's just, I can't really think of a reason why I'm not that excited for it. It's just, it feels like to me, it's just like, oh, it's another Assassin's Creed, it's like, yearly releases of the game, it's just like, why can't it ever go back to like it being released like every 2 or 3 years, like really build up to it and really make a big deal out of it, really refurbish like the franchise again, because I feel like these yearly releases are going to like hurt the series' legacy, in my opinion. But like, it still looks pretty good regardless. The gameplay looks pretty awesome. I mean, I will admit that. I mean, the trailer is very well put together. The environment, like, was set in London, 1868. I mean, it's pretty good of what they've laid out there, they've outlined. In the story interpretation, I don't think I've got that much details yet on the story, but it looks pretty good regardless. But it's just, I mean, there's a part of me that's telling me that I don't really want to buy this. I just want to, like, see what other people think of it first before I go for it. I mean, that's just, in my opinion there about Assassin's Creed Syndicate. So, what are your thoughts, Stefan, on Syndicate?
Well, since Revelations, I have only one certain idea of that, except for Assassin's Creed 3. Storyline, they've done an amazing job at it. Looks great. Campaign, that's campaign part, of course. Awesome. Here comes multiplayer. That's it. No, but to be a bit more in depth, I don't get me wrong, I like this Assassin's Creed series, I really do. The stories always are really great, they're also great to play through, but when it comes to their multiplayer ways of playing with other people, it doesn't 100% work. There are always problems with that, and they I want to say never fix them, but there's still bugs in it, even in all the versions that they haven't even fixed yet for their servers. I know in other games it was that problem too. I know still today in Brotherhood, it sounds really old, but even then when it was firstly announced, I couldn't even join a match. I swear. Once I found a match with people, I stayed in it. I once wanted to play, it was 10 PM my time at night. I got a match at 10 minutes before 12 at night, and I just played up till 2 AM in the morning, full. Not because I'm addicted, it's because I wanted to finally play some matches of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood online. That's how long it freaking took for me to play online on Assassin's Creed. And that's kind of being a douche to me. Then Revelations came along. Revelations kind of fixed their multiplayer, could have joined matches faster, but there were so many glitches. I mean, I joined matches where I saw people die or killing people that weren't even there or happening. I was like, what is going on? And after that, it kind of fixed itself, luckily. Still bugs, but I don't mind those. They fixed the major problems. But yeah, like I said, Story-based, done an amazing job, but I don't expect much from the multiplayer, to be honest. I just don't.
Mm. Well, it's just, I mean, for Assassin's Creed Syndicate, I mean, it's just like, I don't know, me, compared to Unity, like, my excitement level for Unity was very high, but it's just for Syndicate, it doesn't seem as high as it was, like, back then for, like, Unity. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's just me. I mean, I just don't think Syndicate will be as good as Unity was. I mean, well, of course Unity was disastrous when it first came out with its glitches, but eventually that's been fixed. But hopefully Syndicate will not be as bad when it comes out. But in terms of glitches, but I think, to be honest, I mean, that's all I've really got to say about Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I mean, me personally, and my overall thoughts, I'm not as excited about this game as I was for Unity, but we'll see what happens. I mean, like, we'll see again what other people say about it first.
Yep.
Okay, so I think moving on, unless if you've got anything else to add.
Nope, not really.
I think this next subject, or the last subject on our list, is probably quite a quick topic to touch upon. Is the PS4 got a media player app added on to like the cross-media bar into the hardware. Would you like to start off, Stefan, with this, the PS4 media player?
Sure. Well, from what we saw, of course, on the E3, the PS4 media player is basically your own home movie theater. You kind of have to like look at it as Netflix, only this time it's on your freaking PS4. Bam. So you don't have to like, well, from what I heard, you don't even have to need PlayStation Plus to watch movies. Just need an internet connection, and you're good to go. You just have to search your favorite movie or TV series that they said, and you can just watch it on the PlayStation 4. But I think from what they said before, I think that's only temporary, because I think eventually it will only be the PlayStation Plus exclusive people who can watch infinitely online or something. I think people who don't have that probably have to or pay for it, or it's not available, or just temporarily available, or just bits of it. That's what I think. What do you think about it, Kieran?
Well, just adding on to this, like I just had a look at having a look at this page here. It's not just, I mean, not just like the internet connection, like of it like acting like Netflix in a way, but also there were people saying about how they couldn't really use their music on the PS4. Well, now they can. They can use that on the media player now using a USB connection, so they can actually use their music on the PS4 now, which I think is a really good improvement in my opinion, because like, of course the PS4, as you may know, already doesn't take CDs. It's not compatible with compact discs. So if you have a music CD, then you can't use it on the PS4. But if you store the CD tracks onto the USB drive on the media player, then you'll be able to listen to your favorite tracks onto the PS4 using that media player. So I think it's quite a good add for that reason, for music. And it's the same with like, for your photos and your videos as well. I mean, like if you've got a movie stored on like a USB stick in the way, like if you've got any like home videos, you can watch that on there. And the same with photos as well. You can view any photos you've taken on the holidays or wherever you've been or whatever you've done. You can view them in that brilliant quality on the PlayStation 4. I think it's quite a good add for like the offline use, in my opinion.
But yeah, what do you think? Will it be a software update or in the whole new PS4 system build?
I think personally it will be software updated, although to be honest, I might be wrong about that. I mean, I won't be surprised if it's in a new PS4 system, but personally, I think it's going to be a software update. What do you think?
Yeah, same here, because people bought PS4 to also be gaming, and there was already a media center in there, so my logical sense would be you bring in new updates, especially for the media center, where you put that as a software package in the build and just let it download, install it on your PS4, and it's in there.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I agree with you there about that, and I think, is there anything else that you want to talk about the Media Player app? I mean, because I've given all my thoughts on the Media Player app. Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, same here. You, once again, used all my words. Damn it.
Yep, we keep stealing each other's words here. But, okay, so I think the last thing we're going to talk about is things we hope to see at E3, but hopefully we'll see in the future. Now, the first thing we're going to touch up upon is something that was already revealed, but maybe not that much talked about at E3, was Ratchet and Clank for PS4. And I think I'll let you start off with this, Stefan, since you talked about this to me quite a lot.
Yeah, from what I've seen so far, and Sony actually posted on their Facebook as well, is the whole new Ratchet and Clank for the PS4 exclusive. What they actually did was looking back at the original Ratchet and Clank 1, the first one that they ever made, and they actually rebuilt around that. So it's, from what I've noticed, it's like the Ratchet and Clank 1, only the environment is enhanced more, new sort of enemies are there, new sort of pattern, new sort of paths that are made, but they still made it similar to recognizable missions from Ratchet and Clank 1 as they shown before in their trailer that I saw. And yeah, that's all they showed, just one planet, so I'm wondering what else they will be showing off, because they also got a whole new source of weapons, so maybe it's like Ratchet and Clank 1, but it's also maybe a whole new adventure of that particular game. It's kind of maybe a mix-up, which would be cool.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I mean, like, I think, for me, like, I mean, I've not really played a lot of Ratchet and Clank, but the gameplay itself, like, for this new PS4 game looks incredible. I mean, it's the game based on the movie, based on the game, and it looks pretty good, but I mean, it could have been good to hear more details about it at E3. Maybe we'll hear more about it at perhaps, like, Gamescom, for example. That could be a good opportunity for Ratchet and Clank to be talked about more. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I think we would have liked. And again, guys, I mean, like, for these things we're going to talk about, the things we hope to see at E3, feel free to share, like, your thoughts on these topics we're going to discuss, or even, like, feel free to add some more of your own in the comments below, because it'd be interesting for us to see what you'd like to add in the comments. So, is there anything you'd like to add on to Ratchet and Clank PS4, or shall we move on to the next one?
Only that we know that Ratchet and Clank is definitely a go, like definitely a green light for the PS4. It will definitely come out, no doubt.
Yeah. I think that might be it actually for Ratchet and Clank. I mean, is there anything else?
No, that might actually be it for Ratchet and Clank.
Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is, or the one thing that I would have liked to see happen at E3 was God of War. I mean, to be honest, I was quite surprised that there wasn't another God of War game showing off at E3, or even at least like probably more showing off of the God of War 3 remastered edition for E3 as well for the PS4. I mean, that could have been good to see, but to be honest, I think maybe they're not ready to show off a new God of War game yet. That's probably why it hadn't been shown off, so maybe we'll see it again at another point, maybe next year's E3, for example. That's when we probably might see it.
I hope so.
Yeah, because
God of War is a really great game. It has really much potentials. I actually hope they make a sequel to this.
I'm pretty sure they will make a sequel. I mean, with the God of War 4, I mean, it's been rumoured for quite a while now.
And from what we know from E3, mostly all the rumors are true.
Yeah, that's alright. They're true, yep.
Yeah.
So, God of War, I mean, that's the one thing we touched upon there. So, another thing I'd like to talk about is, you remember, you probably all remember that Sony launched PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale for the PlayStation 3 and the PS Vita as well. Well, to be honest, it would have been nice possibly to see something like that at E3 again. I mean, something like maybe even a potential sequel, but to be honest, the chances of that happening are quite slim in my opinion, but it would have been, that was kind of on my wish list in a way, of them doing a new kind of game for that, but to be honest, I don't know if I see them doing it on the PS4. Maybe they might. They might surprise me, but I'm not really expecting it. It'd be good to see a new game like that again. What do you think, Stefan?
Like Battle Royales based? That would be nice. Well, to be fair, I wanted to wait a little bit with Battle Royale. Just that they were built a little bit close to 2016 or in 2016, and then make Battle Royale, because then we got new characters from new gameplay, of course, which they can put into Battle Royale, which made the game even more interesting to play, because you've got also all those new characters.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think maybe if they wait maybe a little bit longer, they'll have a lot more characters to put in. Maybe it's a bit too early at the moment to put in there. Even if it's a Battle Royale 2, then that'd be brilliant. If not, then maybe even like a racing game, an All-Stars racing game. Maybe that could be good.
Yeah.
But I think just moving on, 2 more things to go before we end this video off, and that is Jak and Daxter now. Would you like to start your thoughts off on this one, Stefan, what you hoped?
I swear I hoped that Naughty Dog or Sony themselves actually continued on the Jak and Daxter franchise. I know there are also a lot of fans who are hoping that it would continue. I also hope it would continue, I swear I hope, but I think they kind of want to do it low pitch since they now got Uncharted all the way running and The Last of Us and all that stuff that they want to work on. But still, Jak and Daxter, it's really a great game. For me, it officially stopped at Jak X. That was the last game Naughty Dog officially made, and Jak X kind of a bit continued after Jak 3. Kind of did, because then I hear them talking a bit of end of the world crap that you saw in The Last Frontier. But yeah, it's really a great game. But yeah, after Jak X, it kind of, I want to say, stopped for me. The Last Frontier, don't get me wrong, Last Frontier, great game, looks cool, developers and another group of developers did their best, okay. But it didn't feel right, Jak and Daxter shouldn't have ended that way, that The Last Frontier ended. It was still, for me, it was still kind of like an open ending to Jak and Daxter. It didn't feel like closed up. And to leave it like that, you can do it, but it didn't feel right, especially from another producer, not from Naughty Dog themselves. That's kind of also the bummer that I had. But I was also hoping for new Jak 4, that they actually continued after the Jak 3 series, or after the Jak X things that happened. I wish they would do something like that. That would be freaking amazing. But we haven't seen anything yet. Maybe even at Gamescom. Maybe at Gamescom they show with Jak and Daxter. I don't know. We're just hoping. I'm just hoping, at least. I don't know what you guys and girls think. But yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping for to see at E3 at least. So, what are your thoughts about that, Kieran?
Well, for the Jak and Daxter series, I'm like I like the Jak and Daxter series, but I'm not really like a big fan of it. Like, let's just say, I mean, I do like it, but it's just like I'll give my thoughts on each game. Like Jak 1, I mean, I really liked that game. I mean, I really enjoyed that because like, you know, I had the basic platforming elements here and there, and like you know, collecting certain things. But I'll be honest as well. Like, see Jak 2. My enjoyment of the series kind of dwindled down a bit because of that game. Not because of, like, you know, the tone changing and everything like that. I thought it was a really good game, like, well put together. But the problem is, there were two things that really caused, that seized my enjoyment of the game, and that was the difficulty spikes, and also the checkpoint system was so bad in that game as well, in my opinion. But, as far as it goes for a future on this series, I feel, from my point of view, that maybe we will see another game. Maybe we will see a Jak 4 at some point. I mean, it'd be good to see a Jak 4, but I'm hoping that, like, if they do something like, I mean, Jak 3 and stuff like that, which will inevitably happen if they do a Jak 4, but like a gameplay style like Jak 3, then I hope it won't have the same problems. I mean, like as Jak 2 did. Like, from my point of view, like the difficulty system and like the checkpoint system as well, in my opinion as well. So, to be honest, I think the Jak and Daxter series, we may very well see another game, but I don't know what the chances are of that happening. I mean, hopefully it'll happen. I mean, that's my opinion right there. So, do you have anything else to add to that, Stefan?
Yeah.
What's that?
Give me a new Jak and Daxter, god damn it!
Ah, good way to end off with that.
I'm not crazy.
Right, now the last thing we should talk about here is, well, Crash Bandicoot. Now, would you like to start off with this one, Stefan? Crash Bandicoot?
No, you do.
Okay, hang on just a sec.
Oh god, here it comes, guys. Here comes the speech. Prepare yourself. It was only just the beginning. Now it comes.
Okay, right. Sorry about that. It's just for Crash Bandicoot. I mean, I feel that like Sony have been. Sorry about that, guys. I had to move my mic there because I'm sneezing quite a bit in there. But for you're still there, aren't you?
Yeah. Still here.
Okay, for Crash Bandicoot, like Sony, they've been teasing quite a lot of Crash Bandicoot content as of late, like, you know, going back to the past, like saying, okay, E3 1996, this is what happened, and I'm like, okay, somebody's got to give here, something has got to happen here, but alas, didn't happen this year. I was hoping that it would, but it wouldn't. It didn't really happen this year, but to be honest, I hope that in the future that they do reveal another Crash game. It's just, I hope they do. I mean, it's just, that's all I can really say, really. I mean, I just hope they do, but it's just, I mean, the chances of that happening there are just absolutely slim to none. It's sad to say that because I'm a huge fan of the franchise. I really am. I mean, it's just, I don't know if you've got anything else to add to that, Stefan, of what I just said, or if I've taken the words out of your mouth again of what I just said.
That, and I wish Activision just sold the rights back to Sony or Naughty Dog so that they can publish a new Jak and Daxter. Crash Bandicoot and Jak and Daxter, of course. I swear, you hear all the rumors, even from Naughty Dog themselves, that they want to make a new Crash game. And they sold the rights to Activision, and Activision still holds for something. Yeah. I don't know. It was a stupid thing before from Naughty Dog to do that. Now they regret it, and now they're sorry. Other side they're right, other side I'm like, Activision, dude, if you're not doing anything with it, just sell it back. You're not losing any money of it. I mean, seriously, dude, if you don't have any plans with Crash whatsoever, then you don't deserve to have him like as your, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's trash. You just use him as trash right now. I mean, if you're not doing anything with it and you hear around it, even Naughty Dog wants to, and Sony wants to make a new Crash game. I mean, come on, don't be a douche. Just sell sell the Crash license back to them so that we can get a new Crash game. That's what every gamer actually wants from the 1990s. Everyone is still waiting for that sort of game, and also that's also with the Jack and Daxter's players. Everyone's looking for a sequel. But yet again, that's all that we can do is hope. So yeah, that sums up my ideas for the Crash Bandicoot. So luckily, the only thing I have to say, luckily, we still have the original Crash games somewhere in this earth wandering around that we can still play. And even in the freaking PlayStation 3 store, which is amazing. If that wasn't there, then there wasn't any Crash Bandicoot history left, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, we still got all the old games like there in the PS1 and PS2 era, but it's just the thing is like, I hope they do bring Crash back. I do. I mean, the fan in me is telling me, like, please just bring Crash back. But honestly, I really don't think it's going to happen. I hope to be surprised. I really hope I'm wrong. I do. But from my point of view, because I've been waiting that long for a new Crash game, the chances of it happening now are just really, I think, impossible, in my opinion, for it to happen. Because Activision still hold the license, and they're just going to refuse to give it up. I mean, I don't know when they're going to give it up at all, if it ever, like at all. It's just, here's hoping that it comes back, but to be honest, like I said, it's near a bit impossible to happen, or a slim chance of it happening. So I think that's pretty much all my thoughts given out for Crash Bandicoot. Is there anything that you like to add to that, Stefan? Or
nope. Except for this. Bring back Crash. Bring back. No.
Yeah.
I'm seriously bring it back.
Yeah, I do agree with you there, but I think that'll be the end of this video, guys. So thank you all for watching our thoughts on E3 and the things we hope to see at E3. And please feel free to like if you enjoyed, comment down below for your thoughts on each of the topics that we discussed about, and please feel free to subscribe as well for more upcoming content on my channel. And also please feel free to check out SkullCrusher's channel as well, or aka Zombie Hunter has come back for more content on this channel as well. So thank you for joining me, Stefan.
No problem, Kieran.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you, and I'll see you guys later. Till then, have a great night, and goodbye.
Laters.